Hello everyone, today I am going to be doing something different from what I've done before. It's some Bloons Tower Defense 6. I've wanted to do this game for a while. I always have really loved this, and I just figured I'd do some content on the channel. I figured I'd start with a Chimps guide for Chutes, one of the harder maps in the game in my opinion. I know a lot of people tend to really struggle with this map because it has a really annoying start a lot of the times, and it also requires some good micro sometimes, but I figured I'd try and look to see if I could do a guide with it with pretty much no micro. There's like a couple spots where you need just a little bit, but it's very easy micro, and also no RNG at all, because there are some times where that is important. So I figured I'll just start off, and so my basic idea is that I want to go with a Striker Jones strategy, so let me just start playing the video and you can see it's kind of a voiceover. So I like to start with a sniper actually on this map because the triple dart monkey start, it's okay and it works, but it can be some really annoying precise placement where all you really need to do is a sniper on strong, and then near the end of round 6 you need to switch it over to first and then switch it back to strong. So it's pretty easy, just slow it down. As soon as you see this red balloon near, just switch it to first and then switch it back to strong. Afterwards, for round 7, you're going to place your left dart monkey right there and put him on strong as well. And then you're going to do the same on round 8 with the right side dart monkey. And it's very similar to what like the triple dart monkey strat is, but a lot more consistent for this map in my opinion. And that's really what you want on this map, because it's what the main annoyance is, that the early game is all really just tedious and frustrating on this map sometimes. But yeah, pretty easy start. You just get the 3 dart monkeys, last one in the middle of round 8, before the green balloons come, basically. So you should have plenty of time to just move it over there. The placement isn't like super precise or anything. After that, the sniper will take care of everything, and then we're going to go for Striker Jones sometime in like round 13, 14, something like that. But a sniper will take care of everything up until Striker Jones comes out. We're going to place him just above the left little X there, in the top left. But yeah, even round 10, it looks a little scary. But the sniper, I've never seen it not handle it. But maybe if you mess up the sniper position a little bit, it can. But like right in that general area, I've never seen a pixel perfect precise thing. But I've never seen the sniper mess that up. But it is possible it could mess up there. So just be careful. Be ready to micro potentially if needed. But I haven't a single time yet to this point with this strat. So round 12, we're gonna get Striker Jones right about there. The placement isn't like insanely precise, but try and get it about what you need. You can just keep him on first. I kept him on first pretty much the entirety of the time. And then after Striker Jones, we are going to get ourselves a ninja monkey. It's gonna just help with our early game. It's also gonna help with camos, obviously, up until like mid-late game until we can get a village going. So we're gonna get him, and we're gonna upgrade him to a 301 to start off. I started out with a 1-0, and then a 2-0, and then a 2-0-1, and then a 3-0-1. But I don't think it matters a ton as long as you get them in some sort of order. But yeah, I went top path, bottom path, top path. And then after that, just get yourself an alchemist about right next to Striker Jones. Give enough space for a bomb on the left of him, but that's not super precise again. And you're just gonna upgrade him to the acidic mixture dip. That way your ninja can pop leads. Pretty safe, pretty basic start. Around 28 and 30, you can definitely use Striker Jones' ability on the leads to be safe. I just I kept it there, kept my pointer on it just to be safe, but I haven't seen it break a single time, but it is possible. Then round 31 actually was a little close here. I'd recommend as soon as you see the first zebra, use Striker Jones' ability and you should be fine, but I have lost there once, so just be careful. Use the ability as soon as you see the first zebra. It's not a super precise timing, but it is there. Then after that, you can get yourself a 401 ninja, and you are pretty much set for the rest of the game if you get this correctly at this point. You only have one more micro you need to do on round 40, but pretty simple. Afterwards, we're going to get ourselves a alchemist upgrade to Berserker Brew, and instead of going for the stronger stimulant right away, because sometimes you can lose on like round 38-ish, I think, or 37, one of the two, if you don't micro it correctly. So instead of doing that, I'm going to start by getting a 102 sniper. And that actually just gives the ninja enough time to be able to handle these mid-game rounds correctly, and it just helps him out a little bit. So I do that, and then, like I said, afterwards we'll get the stronger stimulant in round 38, and no micro need at this point. During round 39, or before round 40, basically, I do start setting up my first cannon. I don't think it's necessary, but it does help with the Moab quite a bit, so I'd get it. So definitely turn off auto start if you need to, for timing wise, and just upgrade it to a 102, I want to say, is what I get before round 40. Yeah, a 102. And then on the Moab, you are going to need to do one thing of micro here. You're just going to need to use your Striker Jones ability right as the Moab is popping. So go into slow down mode, wait for it to pop, and you should be fine. It's not a super precise timing. But after that, you're pretty much set. Then during between rounds 40 and 50, you can turn off auto start if you need for this to get all the setup going. But basically between rounds 40 and 55-ish, you're going to want to get the setup I'm going to have here. I'd start with cluster bombs and then get the camo tower after you get this first recursive cluster, because the recursive cluster is going to just help with group pop and power a ton. But I'd get the two recursive cannons you're going to see here in just a second, and then the village afterwards. And then afterwards get the other recursive clusters. But you're going to see by around 51 I have a village, two recursive clusters, and another bomb getting set up right beside that alchemist. And that should cover you for the most part. The second village is going to be for later, the top right one. But it's not like insanely needed. I actually used that because I misplaced my village just slightly. But it will be used later anyway, so it's not a huge deal if you misplace it. But yeah, just make sure all three of your bombs have the camo detection plus the primary training, and it's a 4-2-0 village to be more precise. But yeah, you're gonna get your three recursive clusters set up, and pretty good. Make sure they're all set on close as well. Pretty important. Makes their effectiveness way better. Then we're gonna get ourselves another alchemist just to get that stronger stimulant going for the recursive clusters, and it's pretty safe. At this point, there's not a ton of threats. Round 63 is kind of a joke for this. You don't even need to use Striker Jones' ability. I actually don't even include it in the footage here because it just dies instantly. But, you're going to get yourself the Berserker Brew Stronger Stimulant going. You don't want to get the faster thrown right away. I get it later into the game. One, because it's expensive, but two, because unless you have a bunch of towers, it won't really be efficient to have faster thrown because they'll kind of throw it around. But later I need to get it to upgrade one of my towers that I put, actually where that cannon is, but not that cannon. I actually put the cannon right beside the other alchemist, kind of just a little up. You're going to want enough room for an ice tower right there. So we're going to put this one on strong and just get our free upgrades for it at this point. Try to get your free upgrades as soon as you can and get it to strong, and we're going to go for a Moab Assassin by round 61, I want to say. As you can see, the BFB, I actually thought this might be a little dangerous, but it wasn't a threat at all. But if you need to, be ready to use your Striker Jones ability, but it should almost never get through anything. I'd never, in all my testing, had this be an issue. As you can see, it kind of just pops immediately as soon as the BFB dies. So, once we get to round 79, I know that is a big jump, but once we get to round 79, we can actually get ourselves an Icicle Impale. And make sure you get the middle path because it's way better versus DDTs like that. But you will need to get an MIB right afterwards with that other village, which is why I said it wasn't a big deal if you lose it. If you need to get the larger radius, I went with it as well. So it was a 1-3-0 village. And by the time we get to 86, I figured I can go for the faster thrown. That way the Icicle Impale is always getting that, or is getting that stimulant more often. And as you can see, nothing can even kind of get through this. At this point, you can kind of just click your abilities however you want. I was for most rounds I was just pretty much pressing them on cooldown unless I saw a ZOMG here. Basically, I saved the Moab, but once you get to round 90, you actually get yourself the Moab Eliminator, and I want to say I upgrade it to frag bombs like sometime during round 92 or whatever. But get yourself the Mob Eliminator. Make sure it's on strong so it can just really shred those layers of the strong blimps. It can actually hit, potentially if it's getting the stimulant, it can hit things on the sides. After that, you're going to get yourself a Mortar Monkey, and this is going to end up being a Shatter and Shells Very good ability. Basically makes round 98 nowhere near as scary. Same with round 95, which is when this is why you want to get it like by round 95, which is what I never really end up doing. But yeah, I was just pretty much clicking my abilities on cooldown, besides the second one in case I felt like I needed it. I was a little scared there for a second, but yeah, nothing even got close to through. So you get the Shattering Shells. It makes round 95 way easier because it gets the fortification off Moabs. And then same with round 98, it makes it way easier. I think round 96 has some fortifications on like the Moabs. But I'm not 100% sure. It's been a minute since because I almost always have Shattering Shells by this point if I can. But yeah, basically you can see that the DETs get nowhere close. They actually start making a little bit of progress, but like the Icicle Impale is just so good at slowing everything down that it's really not a threat. Makes you have a faster reload, the first ability. That way it always gets... sometimes it cannot get all of the necessary strips of the fortification off on the blimps. And make sure between rounds you switch the Shattering Shells from left to right. Lastly, I went with a Maim Moab on last. Oop, sorry about that. Little beep going off. Sorry about that. Yeah, make sure you get the Maim Moab on last. That way it just always keeps the ZMG in the back. Gives you more time to break everything. Really good ability. Again, just keeps that stall tactic up, especially going with the Striker Jones constantly stun and stuff with his ability. And just, really sets up. But, sorry about those beeps. But yeah, pretty, at this point it's already won. You can kind of do whatever you want. As you can see, I didn't actually have my Shattering Shells going off on the ZOMG here, but I switched over, but you really don't even need that. But afterwards, the Maim Moab is going to take its sweet time, slowly killing this ZOMG. I actually didn't even realize what was going on. It's just kind of setting up this last Alchemist and Recursive Cluster, just to be safe in case one like Ceramic happened to get through everything. But you really don't even need those. You can kind of get whatever you want at this point. You can get Spike Factory for cleanup, potentially a Overclock with a Engineer, potentially. But it was pretty safe here. Again, like I said, I didn't even defortify those BFBs because I didn't want to accidentally forget about round 98 and not move it there. But it was pretty safe at this point. Like I said, wasn't too concerned about anything. So round 98 comes. I make sure you upgrade, this guy if you end up setting him up. But those two top ones aren't super necessary. I don't think nothing even made it. I don't even know if they got any pops this game, if I'm being honest. But yeah, round 98, everything gets hit. Constantly send off your Moab Eliminator, breaking those ZOMGs down quickly and stunning them. But like, even that, I would say probably isn't even necessary, but, just to be safe, just constantly click them. Like I said, like, nothing really gets through these 4 recursive clusters, even close to. And then lastly, there's round 99. Not really a threat because of Icicle Impale. Shouldn't be, at least. But, use your abilities on cooldown, and you should be safe. But, round 90... Oh, he's just targeting a ZOMG, so I'm just gonna, shoot the Moab Eliminator and shoot it again, probably, if I had to guess. But, no, I play it safe, which is probably the smarter idea, because round 99, it can be a threat. So just send it through, and nothing's really a threat here. You send the Moab Eliminator, you stun him, use the ability of Striker Jones if you have to give your bombs that boost, and it looks a little scary at first, but yeah, nothing gets even close to through. And then lastly, there's the BAD. I just sent some Moab Maulers because I figured it'd be good damage for it, but they weren't even necessary. You could honestly just send them around immediately if you really wanted, because as you can see, the Moab Eliminator shreds the layer quick enough to where, everything dies instantly afterwards. But yeah, that was round 6 through 100 on Chimps mode. Hey, I got a Mortar Monkey too. I didn't even realize. But yeah, that was the map. Went really well. Like I said, I know this map can be really frustrating for a lot of people in Bloons Tower Defense, and it's just an annoying map, especially early game. I definitely think the sniper start is what you want to go with, but if you want to, you can go for the triple dart monkey if you feel confident about that. There's me kind of showing off the abilities, so I didn't even get cal drops because I don't want any RNG to affect it. But yeah, that was the video, and I will see everyone in a next video, whether it's Pokemon, Bloons, whatever. I probably want to upload more Bloons stuff. It's a fun game, and I always enjoy it. So, see you everyone. Have a great day.